The following program contains political discourse, opinions, and footage that many viewers may find offensive. It should not be viewed by anyone ever.
You may be seated. Do you want to say a couple words?
I only came up because before Dallas finishes the offering, we have a serious prayer request, and I don't want to kill the mood, but there's some local lawyers that were asking if we could pray that they would get healed from a serious ass kicking they took on Friday. So if we could just lift them up in prayer, that would be great. That's all. But you can't vote me out and get another Jonathan at this church. You can't. They don't make other Adoluses. Big hoop earrings swinging around. Analogies that don't belong in church. All our analogies are about beating people up, putting Vaseline on your face. Take it easy, Floyd Mayweather. So if you're going through a little test and would like a handbook of how to whoop the devil's behind, I think I've exhausted the amount that you should say ass in one Sunday, so I'm going to go with behind. I preached at this Spanish Pentecostal church in Massachusetts. I had an interpreter. It was the deadest, most religious church I've ever been in. I won't say where it was at, but it was Marlborough, Massachusetts. And well, don't tell anybody. Just stay here. And if you're watching online, just keep it between us. So I'm preaching. These people are so dead and staring at me, and clearly by their faces letting me know they're not enjoying it. This one guy stands up and starts yelling. And I go, yes, we need more of him in here. Why can't there be more people like that in this church that believe, that get riled up, excited? And my wife told me after, that guy stormed in off the street and in Spanish was telling you to go F yourself. Yes, do what he's saying. Let me tell you something. At least he believed in something. At least he was against something. I can take that any day over pacified. Somebody shout joy. See, joy defeats the enemy. That's why that guy stormed back out. You don't tell the guy that. Go have yourself. Yes. Say it louder. More of you should be saying that. Yes. Well, thank you for everybody who gave online. Hold your seat up before the Lord. If you gave by phone, hold your phone up. If you're driving, steer with your knees. Hold your phone up. Lift your other hand to the Lord. And I was just talking to Matt Hagee on the phone. And he told me the story firsthand. He said, my dad was in his office getting ready to go to on the platform, and a guy came in and said, my cousin hates you. See, that's why I come to church right in time to preach, because if you come early, bad things happen. My cousin hates you. Hey, thanks for the pep talk. And he said he lives in California, but he flew overnight to be in the meeting tonight for Sunday night, and he's threatening to kill you. And John Hagee said, they said, what do you want us to do? He said, well, it's too late to do anything now. They're already singing. I'm going out to preach. So he went out to preach. You could clearly see the guy. Back then the church was about 200 people. There's a guy sitting in the back, demon-possessed, glaring at him. And right in the middle of his message, he felt the Lord speak to him. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Second line, don't move. So one was from the Bible. One was tailor-made for that specific situation. And that guy came out of his back row, drew a revolver, came 8 feet away from him, and said, you're going to get on your knees and beg for your life, preacher. And John Hagee heard the Lord speak to him the same things again. Don't move. No weapon formed against you will prosper. And John Hagee said, no, I won't. He said, oh, yes, you will. Cocked the gun. John Hagee shook his head no, and the guy fired off all 6 shots from 8 feet. And 3 went to the right, 3 went to the left. In fact, when the police forensic team, they put a wooden post up where the guy shot from and connected the string, and there was no way for the bullets to hit where they hit without going through. I mean, if you missed John Hagee from 8 feet, that's supernatural. It wasn't Marilyn Hickey, it was John Hagee. Marilyn Hickey wouldn't have needed a miracle. She could have just stood sideways. John Hagee, he needed some angels. If the Hagee family's watching, we love it. Just some jokes. Never waste a minute of your time explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. We actually need that plane for Pittsburgh. We pastored. They don't care. What do you think the devil's going to do? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that you pastored two churches. I will return to my lair. To the pastors and stuff, not the congregants to bash their church. Could that meeting take place in your church? Or the first time the oil got flung, would a deacon be over? That's new carpet. Billy Sunday, listen to his messages. You know, about how you think alcohol started breaking families up now? Every generation everybody. 1870, this is the most wicked generation. They're not interested in working. If you Google news articles about young people not being interested in working, you'd pull up articles from like 1840. These new young people don't want to work. These young people just want to dance the Charleston all day. I'm actually dressed to dance the Charleston all day. Sorry, I've also been a little slow with the laundry, so I had to work with whatever was hanging up. Don't tell her I said that when she comes in a few minutes. I'm going to tell you, I've done everything in my power to not have a ministry. I've done everything the wrong way. I threw a sound man out of another person's church that I was preaching at. I didn't tell him he can't do sound. I said, sir, I've told you twice not to turn me down when I'm preaching. Did you just turn me down again? He shook his head, yes. I said, get out of the church and don't come back the rest of the time I'm here. And if I see you, I'm going to physically throw you out of the church. And I don't have the ability to do anything I said. I don't have the ability legally. I don't have the ability physically. Maybe it's from growing up in my dad's meetings and watching people do it to him. I can't, if I sniff that spirit, I turn different. Like my head turns all the way around and then I have different eyes. Don't turn me down again. I will throw you to the bowels of hell. You want to know why all these great men of God come here and are spreading word all through Africa that other guys should come here? Like Bishop Oyedepo. You know why? He lets you preach. He doesn't tell you what not to say. You know, Bishop Dag was just preaching in Florida. They flashed on the screen while he was preaching. Please transition to praying for people. 30 minutes in. 3 weeks ago. The disrespect. So that's why when people do it to me, I don't take it personally, because they do it to you when you're 61 and have 6,000 churches and the biggest evangelistic crusades, and somebody has the balls to put that on the screen. And you're mad that I said balls instead of being mad about what's on the screen. That's your problem. You should at least be like my dad and be mad at both things. That's right. This sport coat was $163 and I paid cash from the 100-fold return. And you say, man, people are looking at it like, I think you overpaid. Well, it's not a nice thing to say, but I get where you're coming from. Because my wife looked over at me while she was driving me to church tonight and said to me, and I quote, "You look like an idiot." And I really had no defense because I could see my reflection. She was right. Some had drums, some didn't believe in drums. And my dad would come in there with an amp and his own speakers. Now think of this. I know this in my spirit. He can disagree with me, but I'm right. You actually can't have a revival with a church sound system. They actually have the sound system set up for you not to have revival. Crappy speakers, microphone, what do they call that thing they put on it? The limiter. So when you preach, it lowers. You blow your voice out, give you a hernia. It's all set up. It's set up to kill you. So I got these. You know, when we did that crusade in Philadelphia, I didn't hire a Christian sound man. I hired the sound man for Billy Joel. gray ponytail, rock and roll guy from Philadelphia, from New Jersey. And that time we preached in Asbury Park, and they staged a counter protest. He came up to me and said, I heard they're doing a counter protest. I got you covered. When I got there, there were so many speakers. I looked like a punk rock band from 1992. So like, I got up to preach, and they queued up the song Born This Way by Lady Gaga to go over top of me, but all they had was a sound system from a music store. He let him get like the first two lines out and then went like this to me. And raised it. We blew them away. You couldn't hear. The counter protest was like this. Oh yeah. How many churches now are you starting to see announced on Instagram that we're going to have a revival night? I even heard a guy, because they pop up, because I guess Instagram figures out who you are. So it pops up in my reels, all these pastor announcements of people I don't know. One guy said, in response to the massive demand that we've been hearing from our congregation, we're going to start having a revival night once a month, 6 to 7 o'clock on Sunday nights. We're allowing the Holy Ghost 60 minutes once a month because the people have threatened to leave if we don't give them some food, some spiritual food. So okay, we've heard you. One Sunday night a month for 1 hour. I guarantee you the Holy Spirit's going, enjoy the service. I will not be there. Can you imagine the freaking nerve? If I were to tell my wife, listen, I've been hearing you say that you're not happy how little time we've been spending together. So I've met with some of my board, and once a month for 1 hour, I'm gonna take you out to eat. Then the whole time I'm there, I'm checking the watch. There's actually a big timer counting down. As soon as we sit down, as soon as we're seated. All right, go ahead. You wanted me, here I am. That would be a recipe for divorce. One time I made a goal that I was gonna pray 30 minutes a day, which for me was a lot at that time. And so I sat in my room, set my clock. I had a Breitling that had a, what do they call it, chronograph? And I clicked the thing, so I'm praying 2 minutes. The fourth time I looked at my watch, I'm not joking around, as clear as day, I heard the Lord speak to me. You're free to go now if you want. You imagine me starting a timer, talking to my wife? Freaking 4 minutes. I got 26 minutes left with this broad. The disrespect, no love. Don't give Camila 30 minutes. I'll give you 30 minutes a day. I'm gonna spend 30 minutes a day with you, Camila. All right? I'm sorry, our time's up. I'd like to do more, but we have to have the second child come in and clear the parking. So there's no time with you. You know, we were getting a lot of negative backlash online. I'm sure the Apostle Paul and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are in heaven going, wow. Glad I was alive when I was alive. All we had to deal with were lions and fiery furnaces. These people are writing some mean stuff. What's crack-a-lack-and pimps, players, and hoes? It's Jonathan Shuttlesworth. Nice shot of my butt cheeks on Real America's Faith and Family. And I'm going to tell you something. As my father contemplates his failures as a father over there.
By the way, it's all his fault that we're spending $6 billion in taxpayer money this month to help AIDS, fight HIV/AIDS.
To help AIDS.
Come on, man.
What's the religious people and his disciples doing? They are, what's the third to last word? Arguing. So when you don't carry power as a minister or a Christian, you spend all your time arguing. You spend your time in other people's YouTube comments, Facebook. I don't think he should have done that. If Jesus was ministering in 2026, there'd have been comments on his Instagram. Did he really have to spit in the blind man's eye? Kind of disrespectful to the blind community, isn't it? I bet he walks on water because he can't swim. Well, that joke went over better than I thought. I thought that one was like a C-, but you guys liked it. Over 1,000 people per month are arrested in the United Kingdom over social media posts. Let me tell you, if they ever pass those laws here, you'll never see me again. I'll be in Guantanamo Bay for tweets, sitting next to some guy named Abdul Rahman. What are you in here for? I had a plan to blow up America. What are you in here for? Oh, I called this guy a fag. Should we be taking action about global warming? should we be taking action about global warming of focus all our attention on ministry? I think whoever wrote that should go to a local community college and enroll in an English course. That's one of the worst constructed sentences I've ever seen in my life. And I think before you try to solve global warming, I would learn to write. It's a super useful skill. That's the burglar.
He's like the perfect burglar. You would not see him coming.
I enjoyed...
Yes or
it's
no?
True. The hoodie actually makes it worse.
Right. He shouldn't have worn the hoodie.
It's always the people you least expect.
Well, I made a deal that if we ever had more than 20 Amish in attendance, I would get my hair cut like the Amish. So my barber's coming. I want all of my Amish family. I want to take a family photo with you. Come on up. I need this picture to explain to the churches I'm about to go to. Oh, big dumper, Cal Riley.
Fly ball to right field.
Most home runs by a catcher ever. Most home runs by a switch hitter ever. They call him Big Dumper because he has a huge ass. Do you think Donald Trump's a Christian? I don't know. I don't keep the Lamb's Book of Life on my nightstand. You think Paula White should be in the White House? She's been married multiple times. So is your mother.
I want people to look up and research some of these journalists that are actually doing the Lord's work out there and exposing these frauds.
$20 million to protest?
Listen, $20 million to protest?
Whoa,
People
whoa,
are risking
20
life
million?
and
Wait a
limb
minute, let's
to
back
go.
this up. Wait.
Now you understand why people are risking it for the biscuit.
If
For
20
you
million?
see
Me on social media.
Yo, what?
With a mask, with a rainbow mask. You mind your own daggone business. Did you say $20 million?
I'll start growing
Like
armpit hair.
bull.
I don't care.
20 million?
Can one of the ushers get me a stepladder so I can pray for this massive son of a gun? Thank you. Pray for it. Lift your hands to the Lord.
How do you make your spa business successful while doing full-time ministry and raising 3 young kids?
I don't even know where to start with you. Next.
What are some of the main things you do when you are starting churches in other places?
Preach. Spa business.
This is radical rigging of a midterm election. Destroying.
Why are you crushing your own nuts? I mean, I could see if you're like having bowel trouble. I've sat like that in a car before when I was racing to a bathroom. You got your arms fanned out to the side. You know, if you're gonna be gay, be gay. Don't be lukewarm. That's my problem with Newsom. Pick a side.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're gonna punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
We're gonna punch these guys. We're gonna punch them right in the mouth. We're gonna punch them right in the mouth. Big finish. And I got an idea. I'm kind of tired of working with the government because it takes forever. So I told a guy, I said, find out who the top gang members are there. They set up a world-class toy distribution. I went last night when it was the first I met with anybody. Some of those guys were there. The one guy, when he saw me, a couple tattoos on his face, said, oh, I know you. I went to your church. You're funny as hell. Well, I'd prefer anointed, but I'll take funny as hell. That answers the question. Next time some idiot says, what do you need a 30-round magazine for? Imagine how many more songs he could have played if we'd legalize 100-round drums or belt-fed machine guns. Quit asking dumb questions. Do you know how many people I know that aren't married because all they ever do is think about asking somebody out? Tell them to get in the car. You, car. I just came from the Middle East. They do it like that there. It works fine. Now, if somebody isolates that clip, you're gonna go home and that aunt I've been talking about, see, look what he's, that's why I don't go. I didn't ask Adalis out. I drove down to where she worked at the mall in Massachusetts, plopped a Red Bull on the counter and went, grab that drink. We got a long night ahead of us. She said, I still have to be, she said, I'll go out with you, but I still have 2 more hours of work. I said, tell your boss you're coming with me. She'll let you go. That's how Jesus operated. Tell them the master hath need of the donkey. Not Adalis, the donkey. Don't carry that analogy all the way out.
Hey, yo, I'm walking down the street and I meet Jonathan Shuttlesworth. How you doing, my brother? God bless you, my brother.
Yeah, it's great that backslidden me looks exactly the same as born again me. I was preaching in Montreal, Quebec. We had a 2-week revival and the place packed out. And the one night right before I was gonna preach, we got word that there was a fire in the roof of the church. We had to evacuate the building. 6:55, like 5 minutes before church started. So they're like, hey, we gotta get everybody out of here. Will you tell them? So I'm like, hey, the neighbors can see fire on the building. And the fire department's called. No, there's fire on the building right now, and it's spreading. Amen, man, it's spread all over the city. We've been praying for this. I literally was like, get out or you're going to die. I'm not speaking in metaphors. The building is on fire.
That somehow, because
Pause. That is the faggiest busting out of a window I've ever seen in my life. It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist.
But I would like to pitch to all of your viewers that if they'd like to connect with my ministry personally, they can find me at onlyfans.com/Russell B. Johnson.
And let me just tell you, I'm not going to say how I know this. You're going to be disappointed.
It's live content.
Content is sparse and unappealing.
And there's no refunds. There's no refunds. And I'm tired of being asked that by your viewers. Once you sign up for 12 months, you pay for the whole 12 months.
I picked up Pastor Russell. We went to White Castle Cheeseburgers in Louisville, Kentucky, and ate inside, which was a mistake probably. It was like 12:10. Abraham was there. Me, Abraham, and Russell. It looks like a businessman, a heroin dealer, and Abraham from West Africa. It's like, what's going on? This guy walks in, starts like yelling at people, cursing. I went, hey, shut up. I'm eating dinner. Well, he looked like no one had ever talked to him like that before. What? And then he starts cursing at me, and I went, blah, 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 like Chris Farley in Dirty Work. Then he went to talk again, and I did what I feel is the most disrespectful thing you can do to anyone. Pastor Russell was just like this. I wish I made different friends. There came a point about halfway through where because I was being so bold, I will pour out my spirit on how much flesh. That's Slavic flesh, that's Ukrainian flesh, that's Russian flesh, that's Slovak flesh, that's Polish flesh, Irish flesh, Italian flesh, West African flesh, Asian flesh, all flesh. Do you know why there's a blessing on this week? Because we're not trying to do our own thing. We're getting right in line with the wind of God that's blowing one last time from New York City to Maui, Hawaii, from Wasilla, Alaska to Laredo, Texas. America shall not be lost. America shall be shaken one last time by the power of God, and Woodruff, South Carolina won't be left out. If you believe it, let's celebrate ahead of time. Take 60 seconds. Clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God. One of the things that God's restoring tonight, we're going to have a room full of people in Woodruff, South Carolina that are lifting up holy hands unto God without wrath or doubting. It's God that said, shout unto God for the victory. Shout with the voice of triumph. Why let your hands hang low? Why let your head hang low? Let everything that has breath praise ye the Lord. Jesus came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. An overflow of joy, an overflow of praise, an overflow of exuberance that I once was dead, but now I'm alive unto God and I have resurrection life.
So you made a way across the great divide, left behind heaven's throne to build it here inside. And there at the cross, you paid the debt I owe, broke my chains, freed my soul for the first time.
My name is Kyle. I have been a registered Democrat for the last 22 years. I have voted in every election, up and down from the state to local level. This message is for the Democrats. I hate you.
Now, we see in polling that minority voters, Black and brown Americans, are starting to shy away from the Democrat Party.
And you lost my vote, and you lost many people's vote, and that's your fault.
As a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done.
Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
You see what the Democratic Party has turned into. Woke manifestation of ridiculousness.
I used to be a lifelong Democrat for years, but the Democrat Party got so far away from what my values are.
I'm a Democrat too, but okay, we Trump.
I don't give a fuck who look at me different. I'm voting for Trump.
Even my great-grandmother, 95 years old, lifelong Democrat, is going to vote for Trump this year.
I was a Democrat, but actually I'm supporting Trump.
I would like to say, Mr. President, I am so sorry for believing the lies that the mainstream media has just projected on me and that I fell for and I believed. The media played me.
So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of like voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of like changing their way of like...
I think we just did our research and we're just, you know, we're not brainwashed anymore by the left.
What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome to the Deep South, what's left of it from the Civil War. Jonathan Shuttlesworth, State of the Union reaction, hope for Canada, devastating news for the freaking Pittsburgh Penguins, And Sidney Crosby, did you hear, Ben? Out for 4 weeks with a lower body injury, leg injury, which people are saying is going to crush the Penguins' ability to make the playoffs. But I don't think so because he actually hadn't done very well. Can you guys find on ChatGPT how many points Sidney Crosby had in the last 7 games for the Penguins? And it wasn't many. And they're winning without him. They're like a very deep team. So if they can get to the playoffs, sometimes an injury is good in football and hockey because you're like your body's not taking a beating, and you're back fresh for the playoffs. And I'm hoping that's how it's going to go. I know most of you don't give a crap about hockey, and I'm sick. I just want to say I don't want to get back into bashing Canada, but it's just so easy to do. All these Canadian talk show hosts, Americans are going to forget about hockey by Wednesday. I've been following hockey since 1990, so shut your Canuck mouth. Let's check the news. Oh, no, there we go. Sidney Crosby's performance last 7 games. No. 59 points in 56 games. At the most recent available stats. Now, aren't widely published. That's got to be ChatGPT, right? So freaking lazy. Let's check the news. State of the Union. Roll it.
Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
I like this studio. I like the sound. You guys did a great job. It's bright in here. It looks nice. It's like one of the guest villas at Epstein Island.
I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it.
Next, breaking president introduces Team USA men's hockey team. Roll it.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Thanks, Bobby. Bobby Fun Time. Sound like a male Asian prostitute. Sound like someone that would approach you on the street at 1 a.m. in Thailand. As I said that, I got hungry for shrimp and noodles. Great job, guys. That was a smart choice to bring for guests for the State of the Union. We owe those guys a lot. Imagine having, as annoying as it would be to listen, as it has been to listen to the Canadian hockey people whine about losing, it would have been reprehensible to have to listen to them gloat. Next. Bobby Funtime said, not after getting born again many years ago. Well, that was a word of knowledge. This is Ryan Long, who's from Canada. He's a great comedian. He's not a liberal, but he looks and talks like a liberal. So people think he's a liberal, and he just mocks liberals. Watch this.
90% of the offshore interrogators are white
Pause.
men.
So what he's saying is like 90% of offshore interrogators for the CIA are white men that do advanced interrogation. Advanced interrogation means torture. So like, do we need more women in this field? Play like just to diversify it. Play it from the beginning.
90% of the offshore interrogators are white men, and we're wondering how we might be able to get people of color and women involved.
Is that what you're talking about, like torture?
Yeah. Were you discouraged from being an advanced interrogator because of your gender, do you find?
It's not something that personally would appeal to me.
Is it because there's too much of like a physical job and you need to
It
hold
wouldn't
them down
be
and
the
pour the water on
physicality.
them
It
and
would
stuff?
be if there was some sort of other way that women could take part in it without having to
They can maybe
destroy
hold the
somebody.
camera,
Hold the
potentially, or
camera.
something like that?
No.
So do you think that's sort of a problem that Guantanamo Bay is like a boys' club right now, for example?
Women have a different emotional makeup than men do.
If they're being charged with crimes, maybe they should have someone who looks a little bit like them.
There's offshore sites where they're interrogating Muslims, and that would be better if it was a Muslim doing it.
Right.
Be part of questioning in a softer way that might be more like undercurrent manipulation. And
So you could manipulate them mentally.
I'm not attracted to like human rights violations.
But is that possible that that's your social programming, that society's been telling women that they should stay away from jobs like that because it's not for them?
No. Ever come across a woman that personally feels oppressed because they have not had the option to be an advanced interrogator that
Well,
they
that's
should?
their internal program, and they don't like realize it. A lot of times women just
Or is it your internal
internalize.
programming to think that because everything has to be equal?
Do you not think that things should be equal?
I do, but I don't particularly think that just
You just
because.
think not for that one job, like you let the guys do that sort of
No. Tibetans are being tortured by the Chinese.
thing. But do you think it's better there because China has like a diverse torture staff, right?
No. If the opportunity is there, then that makes things equal, but I don't think you should force being
No, maybe incentivize
This
them,
was
like,
me
you know,
in
have
high school.
subsidies for women torturers or something.
You might find some young people with
Oh,
whom
so
the
gay.
principles of Black Lives
What
Matter
part of Toronto are you
resonate.
from?
And we need more people who can
Waterboard.
not only do the job, but who can also systematically
Ugh.
be advocates
To
for
get that
truth.
information.
Yeah.
Because
That's
in
an
my
arc
opinion,
pastor.
women are just as capable as men at administering
We're
sleep
launching in
deprivation.
Greenville.
There was that whole big thing with Afghanistan.
It's under your
where the
nose,
woman was
genius.
busy.
Not familiar
There was a whole
with
episode
the country.
where there was
Some of the female advanced interrogators have like known to get 30 cents less than men.
Different issue, that's the wage gap.
Obviously, they say, well, the guys have done 30% more torture, and that's the reason. But
I still think it's a fallacy to say, well, if this isn't 50-50, then it's not equal.
do you have a message to young girls that potentially did want to be advanced interrogators?
Don't.
We should all stop torturing each other and ourselves. Compassion is the name of the game.
Would you
I love that guy. Great job, Ryan Long. One of the bright spots in Canada. Roll it. Oh, here's a mashup of white politicians pandering, and all Democrats pandering to black voters. Hillary Clinton saying she carries hot sauce around in her purse. And then, among others, roll it.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you getting
information right now? Hot sauce.
Plus, Diamond, do you carry hot sauce around with you? Yeah, I can't see. I don't think that's a thing. What in case some chicken just breaks out? Unplanned chicken. Keep going.
Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now,
Oh,
listen, I
yeah.
want you to know people are going to see this and say, okay.
For what, the herpes you got from Bill? You talking Valtrex?
Is it working?
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is.
Plus,
They don't.
really? Young kids growing up in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is. It's the Bronx. It's not 1960s Senegal. There wouldn't be one kid over the age of 2 that doesn't know what a computer is. And the Bronx is fine. Keep going.
No, they don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or
Xerox,
photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near
don't think
them.
there's Office
People
Max
have to
anywhere.
understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you, you know. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
Ooh.
And I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
He literally told a room full of black people that I'm like you, I can't read. And then they have a clip of him, I don't think I sent it in, of him being interviewed by white people. And he says, I can read whatever the length, like a 200-page book in 20 minutes, something like that. Like he's talking about how he can speed read. These guys lie so much. I wonder if when they go out to a restaurant, if they don't order what they don't want, just out of like habit from lying. Newsom crushing his nuts, sitting like normal. Welcome, Real America's Faith and Family. Next. I think he dropped 10 points in the polls, like he might lose. He's no longer the favorite to run for president. This is good. Texas, District 2, GOP winner odds. You have Toth plus gained 30 points. Crenshaw, the incumbent, lost 30 points. Do you remember when Dan Crenshaw, everybody thought he was going to be like a freedom fighter, former Navy SEAL, lost an eye in combat? It turned out he's like Republican Nancy Pelosi. Good riddance, you one-eyed bastard. Next. Why is Democrat approval at a record low? Roll it.
Approval of criminal aliens, in many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country.
Plus, I'll tell you, not that I'm an Ilhan Omar fan, but she like at least stays in good shape, wears nice Somali clothing. She looks nice. Rashida Tlaib looks like Jerome Bettis and a Bulgarian mail-order bride had a baby. And she's always F-bombing. And, man, I even got one of our new guys to turn around. Like, too far. Too far. Couldn't believe it. She's just such a foul one. Like, if there's a way to bet money on Kalshi, I guarantee you she stinks. Smells like fried food and broken dreams. Keep going.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Next. My finger when I use cheap toilet paper. I don't stand for that on here. Next. 6 years ago, I tore up Trump's speech because it was a manifesto of lies. This is Pelosi talking after last night. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is that I didn't tear up his speech because we didn't.
What would you guess her blood alcohol content's at right now? This is like, what is it, 11:33 at night? She's got to be mostly alcohol by this point. Her blood could be used as disinfectant. Keep going.
Shake hands. I tore up his speech because it was a manifesto of lies, as this speech was tonight. So he's consistent with what he's doing.
All right, good. Go have some more vodka. Next. Oh, this is me. Woodruff, South Carolina, tonight. These have been great meetings. Tonight through Friday, 7 p.m., Acts 2 Church. This has been one of the highlights of the year. Next. Jim Baker's show has basically become unwatchable. I know his son came out and had to address rumors that his father had died. I don't understand it. Part of your job as a child is when your parents get old to protect their dignity. When your dad's 98, don't trot him out in front of a camera when he can't even talk anymore. It erases all the good years. Roll it.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be back with you today.
Looks like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings with AIDS.
I think one of the greatest voices in the world today, and he shocked me yesterday with his prophecies that we're about to enter the Third World War. That I believe the revelation is being unveiled right now, don't you, Mondo?
Next. Muslims are shocked that a street preacher isn't being arrested for allegedly saying hateful and distressing things about their religion. In the UK, 9 times out of 10, this is enough to get you arrested. So this is a breath of fresh air. Now watch. And the preachers get arrested all the time. For whatever reason, they're not now. There's no freedom of speech in the UK. If you say things that offend someone, they arrest you. But these guys think they're in Pakistan or wherever. And it's pretty close to becoming that way. They think it's illegal to say anything against Islam, and it's this close to being that way in the UK, and usually goes that way. This is the UK, not Pakistan. Roll it.
I hear what you're saying. In this country, we have freedom of speech, the same way you guys have your freedom of speech. Now, you guys don't need to see eye to eye, and you don't need to agree, and you're all more than welcome to stand here and have conversations with them, but they're not being aggressive. They're not.
Someone else come here, hear this, never know, he might get smashed up.
That's their risk. That's their risk.
I call it, you get your little Muslim feelings hurt, you big freaking baby.
When I came back on the way, he's talking about a prophet, then he said,
tough luck. We're not in the Middle East.
Your friends
Get his face tattooed on my right butt cheek. What are you going to do about it?
I understand the word, but when hundreds of people are stopping, because what you say, there must be something wrong.
It's a contentious area.
So why is he doing that?
Why is he doing it? Because we can do what we want. Hey, here's a thought. If you don't like hearing this kind of stuff, go where there's no Christians, where you killed them all. But there's still 1 or 2 left in the UK they haven't killed yet. Let them talk. Keep going.
What's the moral of the story? Is he allowed to do whatever he did? Yes. But you see, there's a difference between hate and the freedom of speech. What he's doing is
No, there's pause. And I hear Americans say this too. You know, I'm for freedom of speech, but I'm not for hate speech. Yeah, because you're a blockheaded moron. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. Who determines what's hate? If there's any limitation on freedom of speech, you don't have freedom of speech. If there's a group of people telling you what is freedom of speech, you don't have freedom of speech. Are you listening, Canada? Are you listening, Europe? No, we have freedom of speech here. There's just, you can't say. Yet, that second sentence nullifies the first sentence. Continue.
It's a full hate crime, man.
It's not.
Man, he's going fully against another religion.
And by the way, if they wanted to overrun her and take out the street preacher, what's she going to do? She'd be working at Sephora.
I understand that you guys don't want to hear it. I would recommend...
Tough luck, buddy. I wish I was standing there. Freaking cry about it.
So if we came outside, he's
not in his, he's not in your home.
No, but end of the day, this is our community.
No, I hear you.
You don't see you don't see Muslims walking around insulting.
No, just stabbing people and blowing up Christmas shops. Yeah, you guys are the model of good behavior. You don't see Muslims doing that. No, just rape and kill. We don't say offensive stuff. We stick to raping. Next. And if you're offended, let's be honest, you've done a lot of raping. All right? Can crack a couple jokes. It's not rape. You're offended. We're offended at his speech. We're kind of offended at how you look up, you're going to have to use Grok. ChatGPT won't do it. Ask Grok to give us bullet points on the horrific atrocities done by Islamic grooming gangs in the UK. If you think I'm being harsh. You just haven't heard what's gone on. Next. Somebody said, I hope she has major security. She's a police officer. You can do it next after this. Pop the next one up. Let's keep it rolling. There's our 4 churches. I'll be in Arizona this Saturday. Where am I Sunday? Pittsburgh Sunday. Pastor Michael and Sherry, they're doing a bang-up job in Texas. They've got more people when I'm not there than they used to have when I come down. Sunday, Revival Today Church, California, 1-year birthday. Sunday at 10 a.m. Pastor Kofi asked if I'd be there for the birthday. I'm not even at my own kid's birthday. Okay. I'm going to send a heartfelt video. Next. Polyamorous minister explains how she became the second wife to a couple she was marrying after the wife's mental health deteriorated and had to be institutionalized because it was the only loving option. Now, there's so many problems I have with this. Number one problem being, isn't that illegal? You're not allowed to have multi-person marriages in the United States, are you? I think she's admitting to a crime. It's called bigamy. Like if I'm married to a Dallas in Pittsburgh, and then I get a second wife out in Kansas, that's a crime. So I think she's admitting to a crime. Number two, I don't believe any couple would want her. Look at her. She looks like one of the presidents of the United States, like in the early 1800s. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Like she has what I would imagine Tyler to look like, President Tyler. I don't know what he looks like, but I feel like he'd look like her. You got Avril Lavigne's trans brother over there on the right. And then this guy, go a couple sizes up on the sport coat, and maybe the clingy red shirt's not for you. Roll it.
Gary, Maureen, and I were in an unusual situation. Maureen and Gary were still married, and we had no plans to change it. Maureen's mental health had left her permanently institutionalized. I had begun as a nanny to the family years ago, and Gary and I's relationship had become something more. This had happened with Maureen's knowledge and blessing. She didn't
Pause.
want Gary to
How
be
could she
lonely.
give it her blessing? She's in a nut house. Didn't he just say she was institution? She's in the psychiatric ward. Did she give it her blessing? I think she's blessing it. That's when she does that. I mean, she's okay with it. Continue.
And I was the stepmother she wanted for her children. But her mental health meant that she was convinced getting a divorce would mean she would go to hell. And a divorce would have been a lie. Maureen was still a part of the family.
Yeah.
We phoned, we visited, we kept the connections that her health would allow. She didn't live with us in the house, but not being able to live together doesn't make two people
Pause.
not married.
Who did the lights on the left? This church is atrocious for so many reasons. No, not you guys. I'm saying on the screen. Who hung those lights? Just drape them. However they fall, they fall. You want to just against the bare concrete, or you want to put some like fabric up? Bare concrete. Whoever has to wash those chairs that those two people are sitting on, God bless you. Continue.
Anymore. Plenty of couples have to live apart because of health challenges. So there was going to be 2 wives. It seemed like the only loving option.
What church is that? That's the sermon? Listen, however bad you feel you preached on Sunday, just watch that and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. Next. Fetterman, roll it. I like this guy.
The rest of people in my party would stand up and clap for. I clapped with a lot of those things that it seemed like others. Like I stood up and I clapped to recognize the family that lost their daughter, the Ukrainian girl that was stabbed to death, in North Carolina. And I stood up and I clapped that political prisoner from Venezuela. How you can't celebrate those kinds of things. And now I also celebrated all the veterans that were
Whoever did the mic
in
stand,
the
who did the mic
audience as
stand?
well too, and even more political things like Erica Kirk. I stood up and I clapped for her as well too. Now here, can't we just be more kind to a widow? I mean, we just shouldn't be that long ago that a widow, with young children, has her husband murdered. How we
I like
can't just
Fetterman better than a lot.
acknowledge
Let
that
me ask our commenters a question. Fetterman or Lindsey Graham? Who would you take? I go Fetterman. I could name Fetterman or Crenshaw. I go Fetterman. What other Republicans would you take Fetterman over? I would take him. I don't know enough Republicans. I would take him over a ton of Republicans. Continue.
Too, whether white people would attack her, whether the left or the right either. So I'm always going to stand up and clap for things that I agreed with like striking the Iranian, sites now for me. I never worry about who's standing up or clapping. If I see it, I'm going to. If I don't agree with it or whatever, I'm certainly not going to yell and scream and disrupt the whole thing.
Next. Great job, Fetterman. Okay, I like these two Canadians. This was filmed before the gold medal game. Roll it.
This is all Canada's got, fellas. Tomorrow morning, USA-Canada men's puck final. If we don't win gold, if the USA takes hockey from us, that's it. We're done. And the people, the OG Canadians that have been here prior to 2000, early 2000, you grew up here, you know what I mean. This is all we got now, okay?
Pause.
Our country.
This guy's telling the truth. And that's when I remember old Canada, back when it wasn't an Islamic caliphate. And it was great. I would look forward to preaching in Canada. And they ruined it. And that's what these guys are saying as Canadians. Continue.
Not the same. This place, it ain't the same, all right? Tim's, let's just listen. Tim's, the coffee, McDonald's stole the formula. Tim's coffee. Sucks. That's disgusting. They stole our beans.
Pause. Now everybody in Canada says Tim Hortons isn't as good now. It's still great. But I've heard, maybe I get so much cream and sugar that I wouldn't be able to tell what the coffee was. But they did, and then you basically got to speak some language they speak in Bali to be able to order. Continue.
McDonald's stole the beans, man. U.S., they got all the fun places. They got Scottsdale, Nashville, New York, Vegas, Miami.
Pause.
We got Toronto.
Somebody's yelling at me in the comments. You obviously haven't had a wife who lost her mind. That's a new low, John. But what else is new? You haven't met a Dallas? I have a wife who lost her mind. You've never tuned in to any of our broadcasts? Anyway, sorry for your kooky wife. Keep going.
For 2 months in the summer, dude. We have nothing. You guys have, you can see the breath. Look how cold Chancey is. You guys got plastic straws. You got bags in grocery stores. We have none of that, dude. We got to bring our own bags, and we got paper straws, buddy. Paper straws.
We still have paper straws.
Are you kidding me? Paper straws in 2.6?
Fucking Greta, man.
Man, and for all the Americans, the dusty Americans that think you have a chance tomorrow, guys, are you kidding? 97? 97 is not on your team. 829? 87? Are you kidding me?
97 is not
These
a winner.
guys are winners. The best players
97
in the world
is not
are
a winner.
Canadian. And you can have America, you can have all the fun things in the world. You can have all the better things, but you're not taking the one and last thing that we have, man.
This is all we got.
All I have is that maple leaf on this guy's chest. Please, dude. Please, dude.
Pause.
You just give.
Not to like over spiritualize, but didn't the new Canadian Olympic jerseys look demonic? It looks like some kind of like it was designed by hell. The black maple leaf and the bright hell, like Satan red jersey. I don't know. I like these guys. You must have been devastated because you were wrong. You got destroyed. Next. Grooming gangs. Convicted perpetrators, around 200 to 300. Yes, you're reading that correct. 200 to 300 in documented high-profile cases and operations across towns like Rotherham, Rochdale, Huddersfield, Telford, Oxford, etc. Continue. Is there more bullet points? Islamist terrorism-related convictions. Total convictions for terrorism-related offenses. Yeah, but this is, I want just grooming. I want bullet points as to how horrific the grooming gangs were. Next. Not her again. What a throuple. The lady's in the loony bin. The other one looks like Pat Summerall. The husband must be living his best life. These college students claim Trump was horrible during the State of the Union. The problem is the State of the Union hadn't happened yet. So they're interviewing them the day before Trump's State of the Union, and they all have strong opinions. Roll it.
College kids are telling us Trump's State of the Union didn't go so well. The only problem, it's tomorrow. Rate Trump's State of the Union speech 1 out of 10. 1's the worst, 10's the best. Negatives. And why? I think we all know a lot of reasons. Yeah. What about the State of the Union last night? 1 to 10.
It was like a 1 or 2. I mean, it was all over the place.
Probably just going to 0.
John
Give it a 1.
And why do you say 1?
I don't think he's very articulate.
How did Trump do at the State of the Union?
0. I'll be real, I didn't watch it.
Like, yeah, I didn't really watch it much. I watched it for a little bit, but...
Why didn't you watch it? Because it wasn't in the bottom of a bag of weed?
How was that, 1 to 10? I didn't know it was last night. I thought it was tomorrow. No, you're good. You passed the test. Good job.
Next. Okay. But this is 97 and 2013. There's, okay. At least 1,400 children, mostly girls aged 11 to 16, were sexually exploited by organized Islamic gangs. Operation Stovewood later identified 1,100 victims and hundreds of suspects, with 80% of known perpetrators being men of Pakistani heritage. 80%. Grooming tactics. Girls approached in public places, shopping centers, streets, given gifts, alcohol, drugs, and affection to build trust, then coerced into sex. Horrific atrocities. Repeated gang rapes by multiple men, sometimes 5 to 20 plus at a time. Girls forced to have sex with strangers to repay debts or as proof of love. Trafficking, by the way, these crimes were non-existent before Islamic immigration. Trafficking, driven in taxis or cars to other towns or cities to be abused by different groups. Extreme violence, beatings. One 15-year-old beaten unconscious with a claw hammer after revealing a pregnancy. Doused in petrol and threatened with being set on fire. Other abuses, forced to watch rapes of others, pregnancies, miscarriages, abortions from the rapes, abducted from care homes or schools. One girl assaulted by up to 100 men by age 16. A 12-year-old raped by 5 men and impregnated. And you're offended by the Christian preacher's speech. How about all the things I want to say next you can't say on TV? I'm still thinking. Still can't say. You reprehensible bastards. How's that? We're offended that they used the prophet's name. I'm kind of offended you beat that girl to death with a claw hammer. So let's call it even. Next. It's incompatible with Western society, is all I want to tell you. You can't have that society mixed with this society. That's not a racial thing. That's there's other Islamic countries that won't let Pakistanis come in. None of the surrounding Arabic Islamic countries allow Palestinians to come into their country. Any country that thinks that's cool, you just take 12 to 16-year-old girls and do whatever you want with them, you can't have that here. Roll it.
Result of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. We pay tribute to those ancestors of African origin and descent.
Okay, let's start my...
So they've been starting, this is, remember I wrote Hope for Canada? This guy's the Hope for Canada. I haven't watched this yet. But they've been doing in Canada this thing, it's called a land acknowledgement, where we acknowledge that this was built by the African slave trade and taken from Native Americans. They say it in the beginning, everything. This guy's going to say, what about a taxpayer acknowledgement? We pay for everything, you do nothing. Go ahead.
Reputation in a good way by acknowledging the people who fund this municipal enterprise, the Toronto taxpayer. Let's reflect and remember that every word spoken in this chamber, every light bulb, and every salary paid, including those of city councillors, is...
Can't tell if it's a man or woman. It's Canada. That's why they quit believing in that there's two genders, because just looking in mirrors. Like, you know what? I don't think there is a such thing as man or woman. I get it. Like, if you're that, I could understand. Be like, I don't think there's a such thing as binary gender. Yeah, case in point. Continue.
Funded almost entirely by the hard work and earnings of taxpayers and property owners. Nearly all of the city's $18.9 billion budget comes directly from them. We acknowledge that while taxpayers and property owners have endured an almost 20% increase in the last 3 years, only a small and insulated group decides how much of their income is expropriated to sustain a burgeoning municipal bureaucracy that continues to grow regardless of outcomes and results. We pay respect to those taxpayers because without them, this institution could not indulge in ideological excesses like renaming streets and public squares, painting roads with inferior and environmentally damaging red paint, nor fund harm reduction programs that result in a steady stream of drug paraphernalia littering our streets, sidewalks, parks, and playgrounds. In this spirit of acknowledgement and with an eye to the future, we recognize the Toronto taxpayer and revere their tolerance for being taxed.
That's a good Canadian right there. And that guy, you're welcome down in Pittsburgh anytime. Key examples of OIC, Organizations of Islamic Cooperation, member states, Muslim majority countries. What's this now? Pakistani people aren't allowed in Libya, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Yemen won't let them in. I mean, ooh, that's a downgrade. Sudan, Iraq, we don't want you. We're in bad enough shape. Get out of here. Dang. It's a problem, my friend. Next. Good job, Tessa. What's this now? Stop what you're doing and watch this. The CBC tried to find another. Okay. You heard me say that Canada's GDP is in the toilet. And Alabama, listen to this. The state of Alabama has a higher GDP than the nation of Canada. And Alabama is like not necessarily one of our bright spots, but it's doing better. So they're trying to find another metric to use to measure the economy on CBC Live because they don't want to make themselves look as bad as they are. I want to say this too. I was thinking of this today with all the Canadian journalists saying how Canada is superior to America. Then how come your hockey teams openly complain that they can't get any free agents to sign for their teams? Why can't they? Because of your taxes and your worthless dollar that's now worth 75% to our dollar. What metric, if you're a Canadian that thinks your country's better than America, what are you basing that on? What metric? Not feelings, metric. Roll it.
And if GDP per capita is the one we're going to use, sure. But the point of it is to have a broader conversation. You looked at a whole bunch of figures. You were tweeting about this over the weekend, not just GDP per capita, measuring...
Pause.
Are we...
Yeah, GDP per capita. I guess you got it right. So this guy's thinking, they're like, nah, we're going to look at it on a broad way. You don't just want to measure the economy by GDP. We want to find tons of different ways to show that our country is cooked. Continue.
Better off than we were 20 years ago. And the interesting thing that jumped
we have a new guy working for us. He's worked for us before. He's worked with us. Great guy. He's got a shirt on that says more joy, more love, more peace, more patience, more kindness. It's on the back of his shirt, and his back's facing me. So I'm wondering if he's just like, that's his way to just kind of like, I'm doing my part. Like, I can't control him, but I'm sending subtle messages to cool it a little bit. Continue.
But to me, it was the only one that seemed to have improved over the last number of years was, in fact, GDP per capita. Everything else is in pretty precipitous decline.
Yeah, there's this kind of ongoing debate, and I think both sides are somewhat wrong. You know, you've got one side who's very reliant on GDP per capita as their measure of well-being, and GDP per capita is correlated with well-being, but it's not well-being. There are other things to consider. And then you've got another side of the debate who's saying, well, we're actually doing much better than GDP per capita would indicate. I've kind of taken the other approach and saying, well, actually not so fast. So GDP per capita, we're doing pretty well in, but other indicators such as wealth and income inequality.
So the GDP, they're like, the GDP per capita sucks. So let's find some other ones. Like, we're actually doing pretty good in GDP per capita. As we looked at the other data metrics, we're worse. Continue.
Spare and so on, we tend to actually be below the average of kind of Western economies. So, you know, I looked at the UN Human Development Index, which takes into account a variety of different factors. Back in the 1990s, we were consistently in the top 3. We're now down to 16th place in the latest report.
In what?
There's a World Happiness Report.
Back it up. I missed it because of my lack of attention span and incessant rambling. Look at this guy's face. It's like an AI person in real life. His eyes aren't right. Something's wrong. Does he have the right amount of fingers? Continue.
Back in the 1990s,
back it up because I want to know what he's saying they were like topping.
Such as wealth and income inequality, deaths of despair, and so on. We tend to actually be below the average of kind of Western economies. So, you know, I looked at the UN Human Development Index, which takes into account a variety of different factors. Back in the 1990s, we were consistently in the top 3. We're now down to 16th place in the latest report. There's a World Happiness Report, also a UN initiative. Just a decade ago, we were the 6th best country in the world, according to that.
You're a bunch of miserable
we're
pricks.
18th, and it's not to suggest
Pause.
that...
And you feel like you went from 6th to 18th. You're all whining on social media all the time. You're a miserable. You got miserable without knowing it. Maybe it's the 9 boosters you took. Continue.
You know, things aren't getting better in some areas that they are, but rather that other countries are getting better faster, and there are areas like inequality where Canada's performance has deteriorated over the last decade.
Gray suit, gray hair, a gray person. Next. My wife. We're out today at Women's Mentorship. If you're a lady that's over 3,000 strong now, if you'd like to join rtcregister.com. Next. Democrat Representative Janelle Bynum says it was racist and uncomfortable when Trump asked to stand for American citizens. So at one point in his speech, he said, I want you to stand up if you believe that it's our job to protect American citizens, not illegal immigrants. And Democrats wouldn't stand up. Roll it.
What did you think about that moment when the president was asking Democrats to stand up for American citizens during that part of the speech when he was talking about immigration and immigration enforcement efforts?
I think you can agree with the what, like standing up for American citizens, but I disagree with the how. And so it's always about how do we bring our country together, but not stand on the backs of others. There's thinly veiled racist language, anti-immigrant language in what he was asking, and that was
I'll tell you where there wasn't thinly veiled racist language was that guy with Tourette's yesterday. Next. That comedian Mark Norman tweeted, looking back, I think my uncle might have had Tourette's. President Trump announces Vice President Vance will be leading the administration's war on fraud. I like this. Roll it.
When it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer.
Oh, it's 19
we have
now.
all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states
Pause.
are even.
Are you allowed to do that? Are you allowed to shout out over the president in Congress? I mean, I guess I'm glad we have freedom of speech. You did not see any conservatives do that when Biden was talking that I can remember. When just shouting over him during the State of the Union address. This isn't Somalia. You know, if you're going to go full Somalia, just bring an AK-47 and start firing it in the air while he's talking. There, alien. And go have sex with your brother. Keep going.
Worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of
More
a
love,
nation.
more
and we
joy,
are working
more
on
peace,
it like
more
you
peace.
wouldn't believe.
Okay.
So tonight, although
More self-control.
started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance.
Rashida Tlaib looks like Ilhan Omar if Ilhan Omar drowned. And they did dredge her out of a lake full of water.
We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali
Shut up. Now, I get like one outburst. You can't just continually yell out over the president of the United States speaking. He should at least get to punch you. Man, the ratings would be through the roof. Can you imagine Donald Trump just giving a straight right to Ilhan Omar? She's appearing next with ice on her jaw. Has to do liquid diet for a couple weeks. Keep going.
Minnesota.
We can dream, can't we?
Remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right
Pause.
here.
Look at the white liberal putting her hand on her leg. I'm sorry you have to hear this. Oh my. The pain you must be feeling right now. Let me just comfort you as a white lady. How many cats are in that lady's house? And how many husbands have run for the hills? Continue.
USA, and it is the American people who pay the price in
Look at her.
higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games.
Spent more than the fraud in Minnesota on her old country buffet tab. Next. Use Rashida Tlaib playing left tackle for the Steelers. A liberal woman, this is great, speaking of liberal women rubbing people, a liberal woman filming homeless people for clicks and views learns a very valuable lesson. So this liberal, which all you need to know is the fact that there's a camera there. She goes and pets this homeless lady, and the homeless lady, full of drugs and probably a couple of devils, rears up on her. This is great. Roll it.
You all right? Hi. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
You all right?
Okay.
I was sleeping till you rubbed my back.
Okay.
Okay, chill out. Relax.
We're good. We're good. All right. Yep. Are you okay?
Calm down.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Hey.
The old face wash after the whistle.
So, dear.
Calm down.
That's a hockey move. After the ball, you take your glove and rub it in someone's face.
Let go of her. Let go of her. Let go of
It's
her.
okay. Everything's okay, dear.
Yeah. Well, you started it. She was sleeping. I never wake people up when they're sleeping. I don't wake them up if they're sleeping when I'm preaching. I mean, if you're asleep while I'm preaching, you're a committed sleeper and you deserve the rest. I don't wake Adalis up if she's overslept or whatever. If you're asleep, I feel like people should get to sleep. It's so hard to get sleep. And if someone's sleeping, let alone, do you know, it's hard to get sleep on your Serta Perfect mattress, let alone on a concrete sidewalk. And the lady finally falls asleep with the sun blaring in her eyes. This lady starts rubbing her. Then you tell her to get her hands off you. You touched her first. I like this. Then this lady keeps like as super pest, then calms down, like then hugging her, then goes back at it. She's great. If I knew where she was, I'd send her a new orange and black hat, reversible hat. Keep going.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Is he waking up?
Look, pretends like she's giving her a hug,
Stop,
then
stop.
kind of assaults her. It's like an International House of Prayer green room.
I'm okay. Oh my gosh, we're snuggling. Please don't lick me.
She licked her.
We're good. Take care.
This is great.
All right.
Are you okay? All right.
You're getting a lesson in real life, you liberal.
I'm glad you're doing okay.
That's interesting.
I'm glad you're doing okay. No, you're not gonna poke me in the eye.
Looks like Shemp Howard. The Three Stooges with a hat on.
We thought you were overdosing.
The fourth Stooge.
Would you like to keep one of these?
Keep one
Oh
of
my God, you're overdosing.
Would you like a cigarette?
You need it. All right.
Would you like a cigarette?
You're giving her lung
There you go.
cancer to help.
Thank you.
You need this.
Just let her sleep.
I think you're dying.
Okay, okay.
You're dying. You're dying. Thank you.
Look, hug, lulls her,
You're all right.
and then the leg lock to flip her. Come on, judo thrower.
Don't be annoyed.
Don't be annoyed.
You're being aggressive.
If I had to pick one of those two women to marry, I'm taking the lady in the orange hat 10 out of 10 times. She's got a sense of humor. She can do hand-to-hand combat. I don't like the lady on the left. Look at her, you fake compassionate. Can't say any of the other words I want to say. But let's get this soundboard on the road so I can outsource my cursing. Keep going.
Holding on to someone that doesn't know you.
Yeah, we were just trying to help you, Dare.
What do you mean?
Trying to help her. She was asleep.
We thought you were dying.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, you wanted to annoy me, but
Nope.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay, why don't you let go
she's
now,
right.
please? Let go.
You were filming. You weren't coming to her. What are you going to give her CPR? If she's overdosing from fentanyl, you can't. You're going to die too. Just like an extra on Friends. Keep going.
I know. Let go. Let go.
Thank you.
Don't let go. Choke her out.
Let go.
That's so stupid.
Submit her.
Over.
That's okay.
She wants you to
Nah,
let go.
don't let
Still
go.
feel annoyed.
Get her in a rear naked choke till
Yeah,
she
you-
quits tapping. Keep going.
You need to let go.
Well, then why
Don't
did
let
you
go
do
till
that?
her head turns blue.
Make sure you're okay.
Let go.
No, you didn't. Why don't you love yourself?
Using her own language on her.
Let go
You
of her.
try,
Let go of her.
but you don't try.
Okay, we got it.
Let go of
Choke her out.
There you go.
What are you
Submit her.
doing?
There you go. Thank you.
You had her.
Thank
You had her in a good hold. Why'd you leave?
No thanks. No thanks.
No, you don't want a hug now.
Thank you.
I like that lady.
Bye bye.
Blessed lady. From who? You. She's what's right with the country. She's having a nap on the side. Get rid of the other four do-gooders. She's wearing a fluorescent orange hat, so no cars hit her or anything. I like her. I'm telling you, if things don't work out with the dolls, I'm tracking this lady down. Next. Why do you make me promote this after that? You can read it. You people can read it. I'm not gonna read it. It just isn't right. Next. Former senior advisor to Barack Obama, David Axelrod. What a punchable face. Now, that's not a call to violence. We are against that. I'm just saying, if we were in high school, we would all be teeing off. State of the Union speech was a success. Says he used the gallery very skillfully. Roll it.
He also basically kept control of himself, which I think will be a great relief to his strategists and aides there. But the question, I think he did well from their perspective for the reasons that you say, John, and he used the gallery very skillfully to kind of simulate empathy, which is a thing that he's been lacking, and that's sort of a surrogate for that. The question is, he started off the speech by saying, this is the turnaround for the ages. And as you know, because you're traveling around the country, people don't think the direction is right. And I don't think this cured that. So we'll see. But I don't think a lot of the people who needed to be persuaded probably were watching this speech.
Yeah, that's intelligent analysis. The stock market must have loved Trump's speech because it is ripping. And as we covered, I think it was yesterday we covered it from that CNN article, that people were negative about the economy and they shouldn't be. And it's like today, people really, I feel, and I could be wrong, but I'm in good shape right now because I bought when the market had 3 really bad weeks, but the fundamentals never changed on any of the stocks. So it's just, when a stock that has good fundamentals drops 28% in a week, then you just got like a 30% discount if you believe in that stock. So I bought a bunch of options, and I'm a happy man today. Looking good. What's Microvision up? Next. Breaking. YouTuber Nico Cado Avocado. Guessing that's not his real name? Say it again? Nikocado Avocado. Says he doesn't want to be gay anymore. So he's the white black guy from that Church of God in Christ conference. I don't want to be gay no more. I don't like men's. I like women's. So we got a white one now too. As he is now grown up. Being gay was fun. Let's be honest. You don't believe it. If it was fun, why are you quitting? Being gay was fun. But I'm 35 now, and it's time for a wife and kids. Famous what? Oh, I see. I've never heard that term before. It sounded filthy. I'm glad it's not. Being gay was fun, but now I'm 35. It's time for a wife and kids. So, Tessa said that's called being a mukbanger, which is you eat a bunch of food and then lose the weight. So basically, he's doing with his sexuality what he did with his diet. So diet-wise, he ate till he got super fat and almost died, engaged in extremely unhealthy behavior, then decided to clean it up. Now he's doing the same thing with sex. So good luck finding a wife and having kids. Being gay was fun. We love, I guess if you like parades, figure skating, well-tailored clothing. Next. If you want to train for the ministry at our Bible school, shame on you. But Revival Today Bible Institute, apply now at revivaltodaybibleiinstitute.com. We look forward to having you in our next intake of students in September. Next. Mexican cartel kingpin. Now, whoever's running the Christian Post, it's been 2 weeks now, and you still haven't fixed that. Your headlines are freaking out. You must be doing some type of like app that multi-posts, and it's not working. That ampersand pound 039 comma, that's like on all your stuff, or semicolon. Mexican cartel kingpin El Mencho terrorized church leaders, forced over 100 churches to close. Remember I told you at New Year's Eve there's going to be a judgment on anybody that's hindering the gospel? So why'd this guy get taken out? That's the throwdown, my friends. Let's read it. You're going to have to go full screen. The drug cartel leader killed in Jalisco State on Sunday was responsible for the forced closure of more than 100 churches due to threats and extortion demands. Did you know that? The Mexican drug cartels, unlike the Italian mafia, do not leave churches out. They'll send guys by, and you owe $5,000 a week or $5,000 a month or whatever. And if you don't pay, you get not gooded. The Mexican military operation in Tapalpa, Jalisco, donde roban nació esa guerra cervantes. El Mencho. No wonder they call him El Mencho. Drop a name every once in a while. What, all your grandmas keep their last names? Leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG. Also, it's not Ciudad Nuevo. I was wrong. It's Jalisco, who later died while being transported for medical care. No wonder our hearts feel heavy today. The military operation resulted in the deaths of 30 members of the cartel and 70 arrests in 7 states and took the lives of at least 25 members of Mexico's military forces, which who knows what side they're on. The CJNG, active in 40 countries, including the United States. Can you find out on Grok, where is the CJNG most active in the United States? So I can stay the hell away. Including the United States, in criminal business ranging beyond cocaine and fentanyl to avocados and oil. Oh, look at that. They're going into essential oils. Juan, how much fentanyl did you sell this month? Not much, but I was able to move a lot of lavender oils. They help with arthritis. Is considered the most dangerous drug cartel in Mexico, extorting businesses with rent fees and taking over entire agricultural concerns in Mexico. CJNG has terrorized business owners and church leaders. In retaliation for the operation against CJNG leaders, cartel members on Sunday set up 252 roadway blockades in Jalisco, Michoacán, Tamaulipas, Guanajuato, and 16 other states. In addition to setting vehicle fires and launching attacks on gas stations and businesses, reported Mexico's security cabinet. The blockades had been dismantled by Monday, according to the government, but schools and transportation in several states remain closed. Previously, several evangelical pastors have been intimidated into paying protection money to the CNGJ. You know what protection money is? It's if you pay this money, we'll make sure that we don't attack you. You're paying the attacker for protection. In most cases, pastors don't file reports with authorities for fear of reprisals. Yes, because the authorities are in with the cartel. The president is in with the cartel against their safety and that of their families. Keep going. There's nobody to report to. For merely opening a church, pastors receive messages demanding large sums of money, such as, I'm calling on behalf of the boss. We know where you live, the address of the church, and what your family does. So you have to pay your dues to the cartel's plaza boss. If you don't want things to go badly for you, cooperate. You know what I always thought about? If I was a pastor there, it would be interesting. Of course, you can't own weapons, but if you can find a way to get some weapons, to ask them, tell them you have the money, have the guys from the cartel come and slaughter all of them and roll their heads like back to the house. Now, that's probably going to cause you to die, but at least you went down swinging. Keep going. Did I finish that page? The list? Yes. The cartel has launched massive telephonic they have call centers that do this, which church leaders have tried to stem by reporting the phone numbers. Ugh. Or by change. I'm telling you, if you lose the Second Amendment and your right to bear arms, you're finished. Their mobile phone numbers. Others have made the difficult decision to close their churches due to constant harassment and threats. And that I wouldn't do that either. But when you got people all around the world having to deal with this and you're closing for inclement weather, you should be slapped. In 2024 alone, more than 100 evangelical churches closed in Chiapas state due to violence and insecurity generated by organized crime. Reporting harassment by criminal groups, pastors and church members opted to suspend activities. At that time, the president of the Association of Evangelical Pastors of Tapachula, Gamaliel Fierro Martinez, asserted that the problem was widespread because criminal groups harassed the entire population. Oh, gee, thanks for putting that together for us, Gamaliel. Residents and parishioners have been displaced. There are churches that used to hold services throughout the week and now have reduced them to one day a week with varying schedules because the problem is at its worst in late afternoon and evening. In fact, I read about a pastor, I believe it was Mexico. If it wasn't, it was Colombia, that they go after them because they try to recruit youth. So if you have a church where like youth are getting saved, they'd kill you. Keep going. Although the CNGJ initially didn't harass people of any religion, especially Catholics, violence eventually hit Catholic churches. Believing people, Pueblo Creyente, in the municipality of Chicomucelo, Chiapas, reported in 2023 that pastoral agents and parishioners were detained by members of El Mayaz, the Corn, considered a social base for the CNGJ. 11 members of believing people of the Diocese of San Cristobal de las Casas were executed on May 13th, 2024, reportedly for refusing to join any of the organized crime. So that's the other thing with the Mexican cartels. When they offer you a bribe, like if you're a police officer, you make $3,000 US a year. They'll pay you $30,000 up front. If you take the bribe, you live. If you refuse the bribe, you die. It's not you have a choice. It's not like the Italian mafia, where they're like, if you're a cop, we'd love to have you. You know, if you could leak us some information, you could say yes or no. There's no. Keep going. Area Catholic religious leaders have denounced human rights abuses. Big deal. I'm sure they're really hurt. Hey, did you hear the priest announce what we're doing? Maybe we should give it some second thought. We are hurting a lot of people, one. Constant threats, intimidation, harassment, constant threats, intimidation. How about being skinned alive and then lowered into a vat of a lie to dissolve your body? I mean, they make it sound like they're like picking on people. It's some of the. I put on my Instagram story. If you follow me on Instagram once, I put just to show people what people are dealing with. They butchered a guy and put him in a plastic bag, like neatly butchered, with a note. This guy thought the police would help him, but they didn't even send a coffin. You know, if you call that intimidation, yes, it is intimidating. If that's harassment, yes, but it's way worse than that. Dispossession of their natural and material resources, as well as forced migration, persecution, detentions, disappearances. You leave out torture without any response from the authorities. Up to 80% of murders of religious figures go unpunished in Mexico, according to data from the Multidimensional Catholic Center. Between 2019 and 2026, 13 priests were murdered in Mexico. That's just what's reported. The country is considered one of the most dangerous for religious practice due to organized crime and structural violence. Priests are targeted by organized crime for working in vulnerable communities, defending human rights, or denouncing insecurity, thus becoming uncomfortable figures. At the same time, how many slides? At the same time, evangelical Christians continue to suffer at the hands of villagers practicing Roman Catholicism, tribal religion. The Catholics persecute as much as the cartels. That's actually who's behind what we're dealing with in Pittsburgh. Shame on you. In Chenal, Chiapas State, members of Agua Viva, Living Water, Evangelical Church, were ambushed the night of January 31st. They said at a recent press conference, according to their complaint with the public prosecutor, meanwhile, is owned by the cartel. A church member was returning to his community after printing invitations for an evangelistic campaign where he and others were intercepted at 7:30 p.m. by Alfredo Nunez Gomez and others. Without saying a word, they attacked us, said the unnamed Christian. They threw a bottle at me, and when we slowed down, don't slow down. He, along with his son-in-law, and wife, beat us, but he got off easy. Shouldn't have slowed down. Speed up. Somebody throws a bottle at you. Excuse me, did you lose a bottle? You dropped this. The Christians managed to escape and sought help from a witness to the attack. Oh, my God. Learn what world you live in. There's a time to pray for people. There's a time to not. The Christians managed to escape, sought help. The alleged, they're seeking Marciano Gomez Lopez, the alleged leader of the assailants, as a suspect. Sure they are. Meanwhile, he went into the prosecutor's office and said, "We'll take your head off if you don't drop the case." 3 women and 2 men were injured in the assault, including the pastor, who was fighting for his life so that's how severe the beating was. One of the women was injured while trying to defend her husband from the beating. What hurts us the most is not just the beating, it's the impunity, one of the complainants said. In Chenal, professing a religion different than the traditional one makes us a target. Keep going. By the way, this is the same devil. So when you see like what happens in Minneapolis, if the devil has his way, this is what you would deal with in America. That's why if it seems like I'm harsh standing up against this stuff, this is where it leads. They're not just looking to disrupt your church or limit what you can say. When it's done, you'll be beaten and killed. So you fight now, or then you get in a place where you're not even in a position to fight. The victims expressed fear not only for their physical safety, but also for their families and colleagues in the transportation sector. Many of whom have been silent witnesses, like that camera they used to have on the school bus, to the growing hostility. They made a forceful appeal to Chiapas Attorney General Jorge Luis Javen Abarca, demanding that his office thoroughly investigate, conduct itself in accordance with the law. Yeah, bull crap. The president won't do it. If the president of the country won't do anything about the cartels, what do you think he's going to do? We're not condemning anyone. You bunch of nutless cowards. We simply we're not looking to cause trouble, just want there to be some fines. You know, your pastor's in a coma. The group's legal advisor stated, they own you. The authorities' response will be crucial in determining whether there's not equal justice. Determining whether there's equal justice. Drop the charade. This latest case of religious intolerance in Chenal, a predominantly Catholic municipality. See, the priests make deals with them. Everywhere the Catholic Church goes, they make deals with the local whoever. Like if you go to the Catholic Church in India, will incorporate India's idols in with their parades. The Catholic Church will just blend in to wherever they are to do what they have to do, and they go against evangelical churches. And I know it sounds like I'm anti-Catholic, but I'm just telling you facts. Next. What's this now? Okay, key areas of highest activity and prevalence based on DEA mappings. Southwest border states, Texas, Arizona. But what about, give me like Chicago is a CJNG stronghold. Now do you see what's also behind these deportations of people being in the country illegally? You're actually not far away. I mean, I think a lot of Americans think this could like never happen here. You already had drug cartels taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado, and ordering the residents out. That's in an American city. If Trump didn't win, this was going to start to be a reality in cities. Then it spreads outside of the cities. Next. Wow. And hair loss. Got the same hairline as Dracula. Congratulations, buddy. Now, interesting, and this might not go over that well, but interesting that when he got his body in check, his desire to be gay went away. I do feel a lot of the liberal stuff has to do with just being like out of shape, and your testosterone being low, and other hormones being out of whack. Because on the left, that's what every liberal looks like. And then look, I mean, the same thing happened to Mark Zuckerberg. He starts lifting weights, leaves California, moves to Florida, backs Trump. You just are out of shape and you're not thinking right because your brain's clogged by sugar. Next. Hey, now that my blood sugar's under control, I don't like dudes anymore. Fact check, murder rate. So Trump said last year the murder rate saw its single biggest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years. A CBS News fact check, what do you think they're going to say, that he told the truth? Yes. CBS has determined that it's true. You know why? Because Barry Weiss, a conservative, is now in charge of CBS News. Next. Here's Cornel West, who's a rank liberal, black leader, but is outraged by what Gavin Newsom said. It's interesting what Cornel West wrote. Brother Newsom, I guess we're using church language now, could have taken a humanistic approach. This is a great, well-written thing by Colonel West, very educated. He could have said, I'm just like you. I was born of a woman. I'll face loss, pain, and death just like anyone else. But instead, when he thinks of black people, he brings up low SAT scores. That mindset sits at the core of white supremacy, the belief that black people are less beautiful, less moral, less intelligent. Don't play with us like that. Roll it. Next. State of the Union. President Trump pays tribute to the memory of Charlie Kirk. Roll it.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal. This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man.
Pause. Erica grieving? Kicked in a little late, but she's grieving the loss. It's the first time I haven't seen her with sparklers and a T-shirt cannon. Keep going.
So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Maybe it just took a little longer to kick in. I haven't seen her, I mean, I haven't been watching or anything, but I haven't seen her look like that. Have you? Has she? Maybe I missed it.
Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
Expect her to be sitting on J.D. Vance's lap. That's more the route she needs to go to be a sympathetic figure.
We love religion, and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
Colonel West.
I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960.
Even saying that is racist. Like, No one said, like, I could say if the interviewer is like, as black people, the one of the problems we have is we think you're better than us. You're like, no, I'm not better than you. But to just volunteer that, I mean, that's like a weird thing to say. To be like, when I go to lunch after this, if I get, like, when the hostess is seating me at the table, just so you know, I'm no better than you. It's like, yeah, I never said you were. And I was like, I just want you to know, even though you probably think you're like a loser because you work at this restaurant and I'm the diner here, to me, we're the same. You know, you're kind of like a racist to even say that. Play from the beginning.
I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
I'm no better than you. I got low SAT scores just like you. I can't read just like you. That phrase, I'm no better than you. There's so many ways to unpack that, Doc, but I digress. The mic is yours.
I thought he was going in a humanistic direction. I thought he was going to say, I'm just like you. I was born of a woman. I'm just like you. I'm going to die just like you. I'm just like you. I got to deal with the death of loved ones. But no, he didn't go in that humanistic direction. When he thinks of black people, he thinks of lower SAT.
That's what came out.
I see, we see that in the Trump administration, too.
Yep.
That's what DEI and the vicious attack on DEI was.
Plus, no, you haven't heard anybody in the Trump administration do that. And DEI, Colonel West, I mean, come on. And I like what he's saying, and he's really smart. But the whole thing with DEI is that if you have equal standards, black people wouldn't be able to get hired. And people that don't believe in DEI think if you have an equal playing field, black people will do great. So I don't agree there that you can take it across to the Trump administration. Liberals are the one that feel like standards need to be altered so that black people can get jobs. Conservatives aren't trying to keep black people out of the job market. They feel like everything will be fine. You know, Ben Carson made it. They didn't have to lower the medical boards for Ben Carson to become a doctor or whatever. They didn't have to, you know, Dave Chappelle, they didn't have to like tell people, now listen, this guy's not as funny as some of the white comics, but if you'll just, you know, allow him on the stage, he's, you know, people can do great without any help from liberal policies. In fact, liberal policies blow. They make everything worse. Just let everything. Do we need more white players in basketball? Is it a problem that 70-some% of NFL players are black? No, it's not. Whoever's the best, who gives a crap? Just have the best people do everything. Continue.
Low SAT. That's one of the core pillars of white supremacy. We are less beautiful, we're less moral, and we're less intelligent. Don't play with us like that.
But you're wrong to say. I would like to hear a conservative example of that. I'd like to hear a conservative politician saying pandering like that. You know, that kind of stupid. You're not going to find it. I can't even think of another liberal that said something as dumb as Gavin Newsom just said. You know, you take me. One of my airplane pilots is from the Dominican Republic, brown skin, and the other is darker skinned from Iran. And it's like, whoa. What's with the dark-skinned people piloting this plane? Get out of here. I want white people. No, I want the best pilot. The only thing I told him was make sure I never catch a woman up here. Next. Because when they're pulling the plane out, they're going to like crash, you know, knock a wing off the curb. Can't have it. It was my honor. Now, this is very interesting to me. Remember I told you I feel like God's working on Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent? This is odd to me. Scott Bessent he lives with a guy, I'm not sure if he's married to a guy or not, in a pink house in Miami. Okay? I told you he was at the National Day of Prayer last May. And then this now, full screen. It was my honor to join my friend, Pastor Lorenzo Sewell, that's the guy that prayed at the inauguration, and faith leaders from around the country for a summit on the state of the church before POTUS delivers his historic. Why is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent given the state of the church? It's very interesting to me. Is he not from South Carolina, if I remember right? I think he's from Charleston, South Carolina, or somewhere in South Carolina. Strong church. Listen to this. From a gay Treasury Secretary, but something's up. Strong churches depend on strong communities and families. And strong families require economic stability, opportunity, and hope. That is where Trump accounts come in. Trump accounts will give all newborn children a stake in the American dream, expand access to capital markets, and build financial literacy across the country. The state of the church today is strong thanks to President Trump and will be even stronger tomorrow thanks to Trump accounts. Interesting. Video? Just picture. See if you can find some video on that of Scott Bessent speaking of that. If there's at the state of the church, that's anybody else? Am I overplaying it? I just find that strange, and that he's like positive. And when he was at the National Day of Prayer, he's super reverent. He grew up in church, some kind of French Protestant church. What part of South Carolina? Charleston. Next. And no, we're not tired of winning yet. There's the U.S. hockey team with President Trump. Next. America's Secretary of Defense, they gave him the seal to the goalie for his performance, Secretary of Defense. It's like a presidential administration that's run by fraternity bros. Next. Liberals moved to, okay, now this is interesting to me. I know we've run the program a little longer, but this is this C9 bill to criminalize public prayer and strip tax-exempt status from churches. I haven't read this yet. Liberals move to add clarifying language to hate speech bill to address religious exemption concerns. I don't know if this is good or bad, which is why I'm going to read it. Go ahead. The liberal government has proposed adding a clause to its hate speech legislation that it says will address concerns about religious speech being classified as incitement to hatred. This is what my brother-in-law and sister are fighting against, and Pastor Brett and that lady, that Pastor Fatine, or Christian Fatine in Eastern Canada, and that's about it. But they're winning. The House of Commons Justice Committee is currently studying Bill C9, also known as the Combating Hate Act, you bunch of homos, which aims to create new criminal offenses associated with intimidation and the obstruction of access to places of worship. See, they mucked it all together, where in the bill it's to protect synagogues from and mosques. Okay, like if you throw bacon at a mosque, you get arrested. But then in with that, there's also like the criminalization of public prayer and the inability to read Romans chapter 1. If you read Romans chapter 1, you go to jail. It's all mixed together. It also seeks to create a new offense for the intentional promotion of hatred through the public display of, like, the cross is offensive. So you go to jail. This is in Canada. Conservatives and religious groups oppose a Bloc Québécois amendment to the bill backed by the Liberals that would remove the religious defense to hate speech in the criminal code. Okay. Conservatives and religious groups oppose a Bloc Québécois amendment to the bill backed by the Liberals. So they want to amend it. Okay. Conservatives and religious groups oppose a Bloc Québécois amendment to the bill backed by Liberals that would remove. Okay. So the Bloc Québécois group and the Liberals want to remove any protections for Christians. The defense currently protects individuals from charges of willfully promoting hatred when expressing religious beliefs in good faith. Policed religious speech. You don't have freedom of speech in Canada. Do you know if they tried to do this in America, you know all you'd have to say? There's no vote. Hey, we have a First Amendment, so pass whatever you want. It doesn't count. We'll challenge it in the Supreme Court and you'll lose 100 times out of 100. The Liberal Party had applied the Bloc's amendment as a way to secure support for Bill C9, but opposition from the conservatives and religious groups has stalled progress on the bill. Good job. And several committee meetings on the legislation have been canceled. The Liberals proposed another amendment that would add clarifying language. I got clarifying language for you. Suck it. To the bill during a February 23rd committee meeting. The clause would state that Canadians are not prohibited from making statements on a matter of public interest that includes the fact that this is even being debated. You live in a failed state, just so you know. That include educational, religious, political, or scientific statements as long as they do not willfully promote hatred against an identifiable group. Liberal MP Patricia Latanzio, who is parliamentary secretary to the Justice Minister, said the government has heard from faith communities, legal experts, and civil society about the removal of the religious exemption from the criminal code. She said the current exemption created interpretive ambiguity. Yes, it has. That allowed the provision to be invoked in ways Parliament. Yeah, you did intend it that way, you lying lady. Keep going. Latanzio said these groups told the Liberal government the removal of the exemption would be misread as a signal that ordinary religious expression was now at risk. What do you consider ordinary religious expression? We listened to those concerns. That's why we're adding a clause for greater certainty, adding that the bill clarifies that nothing in the legislation will impact worship, sermons, prayer, religious education, peaceful debate, or even the good faith reading and discussion of religious texts. Okay, good. So it's heading in the right direction. Latanzio said freedom of expression remains fully protected. It isn't protected. The Charter of Rights is toilet paper and freedoms. It's the suckiest Timo version of the American Constitution you could ever see. And courts have consistently ruled that ordinary religious expression does not meet the legal test for willfully promoting hatred. Yeah, which is why you're putting this thing into law to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. You lying bastard. Opposition sub-amendment. Conservative MP Andrew Lawton told the committee that while he appreciated the, quote, recognition by my liberal colleague that there's a problem with Bill C-9, the proposed clause would not bolster any protections for religious freedom or freedom of expression. It simply aims to say that none of this was an issue in the first place. For people that were raising concerns that Bill C-9 was eroding longstanding protections in criminal law, the government's own admission right now about this amendment is that nothing is changing. Lawton said, although the Liberal government informed stakeholders it would include, quote, robust protections in the bill that ensure religious freedom will be upheld, the government was now saying there is no reason to be alarmed. The conservative MP referenced the government's invocation of the Emergencies Act in 2022 in response to the Freedom Convoy protest, a reaction that the federal court later ruled to be unreasonable and have breached charter rights. The court decision was affirmed by the Federal Court of Appeal in 2026. There was also a situation in which the government used the very same circular reasoning here to defend its actions. They said when they invoked the Emergencies Act, this will not violate your charter rights because the charter protects your rights. Lawton said that while the charter could provide a remedy after Canadians is charged for a crime, this government has not earned or warranted the benefit of the doubt. No, they haven't. I like this Lawton guy. When it comes to matters of conscience, when it comes to matters of faith, Lawton introduced a sub-amendment designed to remove the caveat. If they do not willfully promote hatred against an identifiable group by communicating the statement from the legislation, he argued that this change would eliminate the bill's circular and confusing language, clarifying that expressing a matter of public interest is not willfully promoting hatred. How about say what you want? You can't call for an act of violence against a specific person or a group of people. That's not protected anywhere. In America, you can't say like Jews need to die or like Italians need to die. No one can say that. So short of calling for acts of violence against people, let people say what they want. If it offends you, grow up. Lawton introduced a sub-amendment designed eliminate the bill's circulating. Liberal MP Anthony Housefather. What a stupid last name. That sounds like you just like randomly generated a last name for a video game character. Hello, my name is Mr. Housefather. Change it. Raised a point of order saying that Lawton's sub-amendment would completely negate the intention of what the proposed amendment does and says. So go back. So that shows you that the liberals are targeting churches, because otherwise this Lawton guy is not asking for anything. Just protections to read text. No, that would change. Okay, so just admit that you're after the church, that nothing's changed from 2 years ago when you were sending in the police every Sunday to disrupt church services. Housefather, you bastard. Keep going. Son of the devil. How do you like that? Housefather said the sub-amendment would change. Is that hate speech? You easily offended little Housefather with his stupid family last name and his dumb family and his dumb wife and dumb kids said the sub-amendment would change the legislation to state that any statement, welcome real America's faith and family, this is national television, my friends. Any statement communicated on a matter of public interest does not constitute willful promotion of hatred. My argument is that this is completely not in order. What? Liberal MP and committee chair James Maloney. There's a Canadian name if I ever saw one. James Maloney said he wanted to review a hard copy of the amendment. So he doesn't want to read it on a phone or computer. He wants it on paper, prompting the committee to suspend its proceedings before Lawton's sub-amendment was debated. The committee is expected to reconvene February 25th. That's today. Let's keep an eye on this. Conservative House Leader Andrew Scheer said on February 11th the party would be open to supporting a narrower version. You fag. You're the conservative and you'll support Bill C-9. How about throw it out or I'm going to cause so many problems. That's what you should be doing as the conservative leader. I will raise hell. I will rain hellfire on your party. If I see Bill C-9, if anybody mentions it, I will end your political career personally. How's that? That's how you talk. By splitting the bill into two parts. You loser. Let me see a picture of this Andrew Scheer guy. I know what he looks like. There's no chance there's an ounce of testosterone in his body. Bill into two parts. He said the party could not support a censorship bill, but if the legislation was focused on creating additional protection, why does there need to be additional protections around places of worship? It's already illegal to do any of this stuff. It's all about limiting church. You already can't harass. You can't do any of the things they're claiming. It's Canadian law. What's this, Yemen? Okay, listen, we need to take it easy on houses of worship. No, there already is protections for all that. Continue. That's it. Oh, yeah. It's your non-existent jawline. Look at you. You got so little testosterone, your jaw's merged with your trachea. Can you even open your mouth? You look like a character that would pop out of nuclear sludge in a comic book and try to kill Spider-Man or something. You little weasel. Go to a dentist. Stop cutting your own hair. Grow some balls and stand up for your conservative leader. I want to know about his bio. I hope they find out he's got a mistress or something and his political career gets ended. Next. Come join me in Marshall, Maine. Just actually on the Canadian border, I believe, right? I think the next town over is Canada. Mars Hill, Maine. I believe that's where the sun rises first in the United States, if I'm not wrong. Let's find out. What three places does the sun rise first in the United States? Sanctuary Church, March 9th through the 13th. It is insane to me that anyone watches this program and is like, I want to give that guy a microphone at my church for a week and just let him talk as long as he wants. But it happens. Mars Hill, Maine, Sanctuary Church, March 9th through the 13th. It's going to be awesome. I heard the pastor called and wants there to be some leadership services. So we're going to do that Thursday and Friday, I believe. The sun rises first in the United States in different locations depending on the season. The three spots are Mars Hill, Maine, March to September, Cadillac Mountain, Maine, October to March, West Quoddy Head, Maine. How about change that one too? Spring, autumn equinoxes. So yeah, number one's Mars Hill, Maine. Gets bright at 10 to 5. Next. This guy is giving a Mexican guy a hard time. Tells him, why don't you box me? It's in your blood. Makes some kind of racist comment. And he gets what he asked for. As the boxing that's in the blood of the Mexican man rises to the surface. Roll it. Pause. Why would you harass someone with your hands in your pockets? You deserve to get knocked out. Keep going. One more. You got him on the ropes. Yes, and good night now. Should have punted his head like a soccer ball, but then you go to jail for a long time. You can't hit people once they're knocked out. Good job. I almost said très bien, but that's French. What is it? Bueno. Bueno trabajo. Good job. Next. Oh. Next Saturday, my dad will be at Revival Today Church, Arizona. Love you, Arizona. See you Saturday. Next. Roll it.
But talk about what is driving this drop for the president.
What is driving this drop? I said record was the name of the game when it came to this segment, right?
Now, this is true. We watched this guy, Harry Enton. He just, it's just dead. CNN. No, this is true. This is a problem. Net approval for Trump is at minus 27. As you can see, minus 11, minus 15, no one likes anyone. But minus 27 is the worst ever. Because it's been about 5 or 6 weeks of just no wins from a public relations standpoint. There's been no counter to the ICE thing. There's no, so the speech helped. The speech went over well, but President Trump needs some wins. Keep going.
Talking about the lowest Trump has ever been going into the State of the Union, the lowest that any president has been this century going into a State of the Union at this point in their presidency. It is also the weakest that Donald Trump has ever been with independents. Look at this drop. We've been talking about it the past few months. At this point, a year ago, Donald Trump was at minus 13 points. Look at this.
Pause.
Minus.
I don't have any problem with the Alex Preddy shooting. You know, you put your hands on a cop, you got shot, but people didn't like it. I don't care if they found where he's at and shot him again. The guy's an idiot. But it didn't go over well. Keep going.
It's 47 points among independents, the lowest Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
but you can't say that. See, this is why he's minus 47. Somebody in the comments, I don't trust anything CNN says. Generally a good tactic, but this guy does not report. He doesn't. He's not a liberal mouthpiece. In fact, he ticks off his co-anchors on CNN all the time, giving Trump good news when the data's good, the economy, all that. He reports straight, honest polling. I like him, and he just happens to be on CNN. Keep going.
Has ever been in either of his 2 terms as president with independents. That is driving these numbers. When you're 47 points underwater with independents, that's the name of the game. You can't be above water overall, and that's why Donald Trump is near record lows overall and the lowest he's ever been going into a State of the Union address.
Quite a message on the eve of this big moment. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
John?
Those numbers with independents just eye-popping there.
Yeah, great.
All right,
we all can see that. You add nothing to the program. Why are you bundled up? You're indoors. Next. French woman, 25, marries Muslim man and goes through Sharia nightmare. He isolated me, beat me, and treated me like a slave. George Costanza, is that you? Next. Okay, now let's get to what I wanted to get to. The Pirates, that were a sub-MLB team pretending to be an MLB team, made 7 off-season major signings, 1 pitcher, 5 great bats, and they have the number 1 prospect in baseball, Connor Griffin, who does he follow me on X? He's a Christian, I think. I think he's from Georgia. And he's awesome. He's 6'5", 200 pounds. He's 19 and can smash the ball. And he had 2 home runs yesterday in spring training. Let's watch him. Let's watch the first one first, and the second one, I think first one's on the bottom, second one's on top. Let's go. Play from the beginning. I just want to hear the crack of the bat.
Now the fly ball here for Connor Griffin. That is up towards the green monster and long gone.
Physical specimen.
Second home run of the game.
That guy would turn that other guy gay again.
If you don't know the name yet, you will soon enough.
So they're wondering if he's going to make the team. He should hit.
So, in baseball, even if you're great, they like to keep you in the minors till you're 24. Because if they call you up too early and you suck hitting major league pitching, which is the hardest thing to do in sports, you lose your confidence and then it can mess you up. So, but I think, and I hope they do, call them up on opening day. We'll have a 19-year-old third baseman or shortstop. And we've got a second home run, folks.
I mean, another little hanging, looked like a little slider that just really didn't do much, but you're talking about a 2-strike at bat.
That was the same home run, wasn't it? Isn't there a second clip? That's the clip. Of the second home run? Play that's 2 clips? Yeah. Well, he had 2 home runs. Maybe they were hit to the exact same place. Next. No, umpire. Now, this is going to be a mess this year because umpires' days are numbered. They suck. Now you don't need them. You got the square. You can digitally see when there's a strike and ball. And so now you can challenge balls and strikes or the calls get overturned automatically by ABS. This ump had 3 ball and strike calls overturned in an inning. Roll it. It's going to be embarrassing for him.
Another veteran move.
Called it a ball.
We'll have a review here. Our first ABS challenge of the day.
Call the field as a ball. The catcher is challenging.
There it is, catcher challenging the ball call. The ABS.
Just get rid of the home ump, or have the home ump only do.
We will take a look.
Let me tell you what I feel they should do. Oh, so you called that a ball?
So the catcher was right, and that one.
Now, what they should do is put an earpiece in the home plate ump and just have it ding when it's a strike or make a different noise when it's a ball. Why not do that? The feedback's instantaneous. Anybody can see it on TV. And now they've asked and agreed that they're not going to show the square on the TV games. Which is, just the writing's on the wall. I know there's an umpire union you have to deal with, but tough luck. Keep going.
Kind of right down the middle. Gets the called strike on the inside, and Contreras
Batter wants the challenge.
Wants an ABS review, so we will get a challenge.
Call the field as a strike. The batter is challenging.
Of the game already here in the first. Called a strike. Contreras thinks it missed. We get the look, and that's a ball.
Why not just have it? Keep going.
3D powered by Google Cloud.
Called it a ball. Catcher says it's a strike.
Call the field as a ball. The catcher.
This is going to get annoying.
First, we've got a catcher challenge here. Our third of the game already. A ball was the call.
Strike.
And it is another successful challenge.
Caught a lot of the plate. 0 for 3 right now.
Next. Spokane, Washington. I'll be with my friend Russell Johnson in a couple of weeks at his new church that's already packed out. All that guy does is pack churches out. Next. Sidney Crosby is expected to miss 4 weeks with a lower body injury. Devastating news. This hit me harder than hearing both my grandmas died. If I had the choice for my grandmothers to die again, but Sidney Crosby would be able to play tonight against New Jersey, I would definitely have to go through their funerals again. This is awful. This is truly devastating news. No one watching has been through anything worse than this. Next. Just in. Skip it. Just in. Skip it. Last one. Just in, President Trump announces he will soon be awarding Team USA hockey goaltender Connor Hellebuck with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Roll it. Yeah, why fly 3 successful missions in Iraq when you can play goalie for the U.S. hockey to get the same award? I like those sweaters. Those sweaters scream private school. Tomorrow night. That's right, Sean.
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that a little lucky?
Yeah.
He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that
the guy's sharp at 80. Remember Biden?
Will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case, my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Deserved. I love the khaki pants and the sweaters like a Ralph Lauren polo ad. I'll be back in Marion, Kentucky. We go week 2. We extended it, but had to kick it down the road a little bit. March 23rd to the 27th. We also missed the one with Cody Jones. March 30th to April 2nd, Verona, Kentucky, Ignite Church. I'll be there with Pastor Russell as well. A lot of Kentucky. Milling around in the South like a Union general post-Civil War. Clear our palates, Britt Gusmus. he's not that intense. Everything all right with Brett? Is that a hospital? Father, wherever Brett is, help him today. And everybody watching, I pray you would alleviate every issue of concern, anything they're going through. Thank you for being our very present help in the time of trouble. We love you. We give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory for all the good that you've done, all the good you're doing, and all the good you're going to do. You're a good God. Touch Sidney Crosby today, wherever he's at. Give him a lower body healing. In Jesus' name. Amen. If you've never received Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, please do that right now. Say this prayer after me. Heavenly Father, I admit that I've sinned. I repent. I believe in my heart you raised Jesus from the dead. I confess with my mouth Jesus is Lord and my Savior. Right now, I receive forgiveness. By the blood of Jesus, I am saved. In Jesus' name, amen. If you prayed that prayer, welcome to the family of God. Please do what it says on the bottom of the screen. Go to revivaltoday.com and click I Just Got Saved. And I'm going to send you my wife's new devotional book, The Path to Dominion, a 16-week devotional walking God's plan for your life. Do that right now, revivaltoday.com. Click I Just Got Saved. As soon as I get your info, I'll mail it to you, no strings attached. We are building one of the great churches in America right now. We have 900,000 to complete phase 1, 900,000 to complete phase 2. We had someone give $1 million. I believe there's going to be others that God's going to stir your heart to give $1 million. And we have a little thing to sweeten the deal. Everybody that gives today, let's do the 3 T-shirts again. Everyone that gives today is going to get these 3 shirts. That's the best one right there. They're all great. You're going to look great in those. Anyone that does 10,000 or more, I'm going to send you a signed copy of my new book when it comes out before anybody else gets it, Taking Your Place at the Top, 52 Secrets of Uncommon Achievers. By the way, I got the financial report from Patrick yesterday, and you guys are the best. I mean, think of it. This is our 3rd building that we're building with no bank loans or bank financing. Unheard of. So it's going to end up being like, what, $12 million worth of buildings in 4 years. So thank you for your generosity. Anyone that does $1 million or more, I'm going to fly to your house to come get it if you'd like. Now, if you don't want to meet me and you just want to mail it, no problem. But the offer's on the table. So I'm going to give you that opportunity. Thank you for giving. This church will be launched April 5th, 2026. That's Resurrection Sunday. I'd love for you to be there. But soon, this window will close. And you'll have either done your best, look at that church, we were a part of that, and you're going to enjoy the blessing of God from it. Or the window will close, and it ain't coming open again. This is a great special time to give. And I want to thank you ahead of time for doing your best. Revivaltoday.com. You click Give Now. All of the ways to give are right there. Revivaltoday.com. You click Give Now. There's the individuals. You can do Apple Pay. So if you were going to do Apple Pay, how does that work? Because I'm starting to use Apple Pay a lot. I didn't know you could use it where you like the touch your phone thing. I didn't have any bank cards in Las Vegas, so I started using that for the first time as a 45-year-old man. You just scan the QR code that it shows? Okay, scan the QR code. It should take you to a list of all the ways you can give, and if you press Apple Pay. Interesting. So that QR code is the way to go, unless you're watching on your phone, because then you can't scan the QR code. Really? I'm learning new things every day. If you're watching on your phone, you can take a screenshot and then scan it on your photos. Tessa tells me. Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania. Yes, Billy Jack said originally offered to deliver the book to their house. Stay with that. Make sure the check clears first. No, but we that's a good thought. But we can like verify with the people ahead of time, which is what we did at the last one. Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. Thank you. New building update with AI. No one's seen it before. We'll watch it together now. And I will see you tonight in Acts 2 Church, Woodruff, South Carolina. These have been great meetings. So they're going to do the building, and then they'll play the highlight from last night so you can see what God's doing. These are worth coming to. Virginia, Southern North Carolina, Georgia. People are going to start coming in from all around now. See you tonight. Thanks for being a part of the program. Hope you enjoyed today. I'll see you tonight. I'll see you in the morning.
Things that God's restoring tonight. We're going to have a room full of people in Woodruff, South Carolina that are lifting up holy hands unto God without wrath or doubting. It's God that said, shout unto God for the victory. Shout with the voice of triumph. Why let your hands hang low? Why let your head hang low? Let everything that has breath praise ye the Lord. Jesus came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. An overflow of joy, an overflow of praise, an overflow of exuberance that I once was dead, but now I'm alive unto God and I have resurrection life.
I'm going to eat some more of this if you're not careful. Oh. Oh, good. Oh, my God. You didn't have lunch, right?
Wow.
I'm Jonathan Shuttlesworth, and I've met a lot of pastors on the road that wanted to have a revival, but weren't sure how to go about setting it up. So I wanted to do this video to tell you a couple things. Number one, I'm sure you see somebody flying around in a jet and think, what is the enormous expense to have you come to our church? The answer is, it's zero. Acts 20:34, the Apostle Paul said, I've always taken care of my expenses and the expenses of those who travel with me. We have no minimum requirements. We have no honorarium. Our team is taken care of by us. We book our own hotels. I've done that my whole traveling ministry. All we do is receive a love offering as Paul instructed in the Bible. That's it. We're not under any financial pressure, and we don't put you under any financial pressure. Secondly, what I do is a little different than what a lot of other traveling ministries do. We don't do conferences and we don't do ticketed events. I don't generally do one-night meetings. I like revivals. I like seeing a church explode with the power of God. Sinners get saved. As the week goes on, sinners bring more people. And really, you can see 10 years of church work accomplished in 1 week of a strong revival meeting. That's what I like to see done. I don't care about the size of the church. I care about seeing God hit the place, and whatever you start with, seeing it multiply. So what does it take for me to come to your church if you're interested? An invitation. So the information for an invitation is on the screen. I look forward to hearing from you, genuinely. If you're a pastor and you want to see God shake your region, I will partner with you in that. I want to see that happen. So I'll look forward to hearing from you and meeting you this year.
What's it like seeing so many Republicans in Manhattan, so many Trump supporters in Manhattan? Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. It's turning now. Trump's turn again.
What's your message to Joe Biden?
You.
My mother says, with my family,
I never would have dreamed in a million years I'd see so many struggling Americans defies belief. We share the same fears and the same mountain grief. It's like a wave of desperation crashing over me. So many lives roughed up, so much anger, strain in each and every direction. I feel the pain, and straight through the radio waves, the fake news plays till it stays stuck in your head for days and days. Who would have thought biding your time, just trying to survive, just towing their line, just scraping all your nickels and dimes, that they would ruin everything and break the world like this. I kept on telling you that they would turn it all to shit. I know I hate a nervous puppet master globalist powers, cause they lie about me every day for hours and hours, and now they're trying to bring me down with the government. I'm loving it, they built the world on bullshit, and now we taking it on. Fight in America, there ain't no hope for your kids. Fight in America, illegals and inflation shit. Fight in America, never seen crime like this. We give it everything, tell me this ain't all we get. Fight in America, there ain't no hope for your kids. Fight in America, illegals and inflation shit. Fight in America, never seen crimes like this. We give it everything, tell me this ain't all we get.
Let's go, Brandon.
You can stick your poison vaccine up your arm. You can stick your poison vaccine up your arm. You can stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine up your arm.
Why are you detaining me? You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Oh my goodness. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose. Is it worth you losing your job? Cause you bought to. Cause you ain't